Everything in your world is a reflection of who you assume yourself to be. If you walk through life believing that you must bend to the will of others, that you must be agreeable at the expense of your own power, then the world will only show you evidence of that belief. The world you experience is nothing more than a reflection of who you assume yourself to be. Every person you encounter, every situation you face, and every circumstance in your life is a direct manifestation of your self-concept. The way you see yourself dictates the way the world responds to you. If you believe yourself to be weak, you will encounter situations that reinforce that weakness. If you assume yourself to be strong, the world will mirror that strength back to you. Most people walk through life unaware that their outer world is simply an echo of their inner beliefs. They believe that circumstances happen to them, that people treat them a certain way by chance, or that life unfolds randomly. But there is no randomness in this universe. Every experience is drawn to you by the energy of your assumptions. If you see yourself as a victim, the world will provide situations that make you feel powerless. If you see yourself as someone who is always overlooked, people will naturally disregard you. Your reality cannot contradict the image you hold of yourself in your mind. Consider the way you react to situations. If you believe that others do not respect you, you will subconsciously behave in ways that invite disrespect. You may hesitate to assert yourself, avoid eye contact, or allow people to speak over you. These small unconscious behaviors send a message to those around you, reinforcing the very assumption you hold. The world is simply responding to the energy you emit. But the moment you change how you see yourself, everything begins to shift. There are those who move through life with an unshakable confidence, and they are treated accordingly. It is not because they are better, smarter, or more deserving. It is because they assume themselves to be worthy of respect. They do not question whether or not they are valued. They know it. And because they hold that belief with conviction, the world aligns with their assumption. People respond to them differently. Opportunities open up for them, and they rarely face the same struggles that those with a weaker self-concept endure. Many believe that in order to change their life, they must work harder, struggle more, or prove themselves to others. But change does not come from effort alone. It comes from identity. The one who sees himself as successful will naturally find success. The one who sees himself as powerful will experience situations that affirm his power. The world bends to the assumptions you hold, whether you are aware of it or not. If you want to change your reality, you must first change your self-concept. You cannot expect the world to treat you as valuable if you do not believe in your own worth. You cannot expect to be respected if you assume yourself to be insignificant. The key is not to force the outer world to change, but to shift the way you see yourself internally. The external will follow effortlessly. The fastest way to reshape your reality is to deliberately embody the identity of the person you wish to become. If you want to be treated with respect, assume you are already respected. Walk as if you are someone who commands attention. Speak with the certainty of someone who is heard, and carry yourself with the confidence of one who knows his worth. This is not about pretending or faking it. It is about choosing to see yourself differently. When you assume a new self-image, your energy shifts, and the world responds to that shift. It is not enough to wish for change. You must step into the version of yourself that already possesses what you seek. If you want to be loved, assume you are already lovable. If you want success, assume that success is your natural state. Your assumptions create the blueprint for your life, and reality has no choice but to align with that blueprint. Observe your thoughts, your reactions, and the way you carry yourself. Do they reflect the person you want to be? If not, it is time to shift your assumption. Every time you catch yourself thinking in a way that contradicts your desired reality, stop and correct it. Replace it with the assumption that serves you. If you do this consistently, your self-concept will change, and as it does, so will your world. Boom. Nothing is set in stone. The person you are today is simply the result of past assumptions. And the person you will be tomorrow is determined by what you choose to believe now. Your reality is a mirror. Change the reflection by changing the one who stands before it. Every interaction you have with others teaches them how to treat you. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly setting the standard for how you expect to be spoken to, regarded, and valued. If you allow others to disregard your feelings, dismiss your voice, or take advantage of your kindness, you are teaching them that this behavior is acceptable. The way people treat you is often a reflection of what you allow, and if you do not set boundaries, the world will walk all over you. Many people struggle with this concept because they believe that being kind means being endlessly accommodating. They think that if they just give more, tolerate more, and sacrifice more, people will eventually appreciate them. But the truth is, when you fail to set limits, you invite others to keep pushing further. Human nature is such that people will take what is given. And if you never say no, if you never demand respect, people will assume they can treat you however they please. The problem is not that others are inherently disrespectful. It is that you have not yet made it clear that you will not accept anything less than what you deserve. You teach others how to engage with you by what you tolerate. If you constantly make yourself available to those who only seek to use you, they will continue to take advantage of your time and energy. If you allow people to raise their voice at you, they will believe it is acceptable. If you do not demand respect, others will assume you do not require it. Respect is not something you beg for, it is something you command through your presence, your actions, and your unwavering sense of self-worth. If you walk into a room and carry yourself with the certainty that you deserve to be valued, people will sense that. If you speak with authority and make it clear that you will not entertain disrespect, the energy around you will shift. The way you see yourself determines the way the world responds to you. When you are constantly being disrespected, ignored, or undervalued, it is a sign that your self-concept needs to shift. It is easy to blame others, to say that people are rude or ungrateful, but in reality, they are simply responding to what you allow. If you have a habit of putting others before yourself to the point of self-sacrifice, you are teaching them that your needs come second. If you repeatedly forgive without consequence, you are showing them that they can continue their behavior without fear of losing you. The moment you decide that you will no longer tolerate disrespect, you will notice a change in how people treat you. This does not require anger or confrontation. It simply requires a firm decision within yourself. When someone crosses a line, you correct it immediately. When someone takes advantage of your kindness, you pull back your energy. When someone disrespects you, you make it clear that you will not entertain such behavior. You make it clear that you will not entertain such behavior. This is not about being cold or cruel. It is about valuing yourself enough to establish boundaries. True kindness is not allowing yourself to be walked over. It is knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less. There is nothing noble about allowing others to mistreat you. The world does not reward those who shrink themselves for the comfort of others. It respects those who stand firm in their self-worth. One of the greatest shifts you can make in your life is to stop seeking approval from those who do not honor you. Too often people waste their energy trying to prove their worth to those who will never appreciate them. But you do not need to convince anyone to respect you. The moment you recognize your own value, the right people will see it too. Those who refuse to treat you with respect will naturally fade away, and those who align with your new self-concept will be drawn to you. It is important to remember that changing how people treat you begins with changing how you treat yourself. If you speak to yourself with doubt and insecurity, you are reinforcing a weak self-permission. But if you carry yourself with confidence and certainty, the world will mirror that strength back to you. Your reality is shaped by what you believe about yourself. And when you believe that you are worthy of respect, you will begin to experience it in every area of your life. Never underestimate the power of walking away. When someone refuses to respect you despite your clear boundaries, your greatest strength is in your ability to remove yourself. You do not need to argue, explain, or convince. You simply show through your actions that you will not remain where you are not valued. This is one of the most powerful messages you can send, not just to others, but to yourself. Every time you choose to walk away from disrespect, you reinforce the belief that you are worthy of better. The respect you receive from the world begins with the respect you give yourself. If you want others to value you, you must first value yourself. If you want others to speak to you with kindness, you must first speak to yourself with kindness. If you want others to honor your boundaries, you must first be willing to enforce them without fear. Your life is always reflecting back to you the lessons you have taught others. If you want a new reality, you must first rewrite the message you are sending. Do not wait for others to change. Change how you see yourself, and the world will follow. The way you perceive yourself dictates the way the world perceives you. Strength is not something you find outside of yourself. It is something you assume, something you claim as your own before the world even recognizes it. When you walk with the certainty of strength, when you believe in your own power, the world has no choice but to reflect that belief back to you. Everything you experience, every challenge you face, and every person you encounter is responding to the energy you carry within. Many people wait for external validation before they believe they are strong. They think that once they overcome a hardship, achieve a goal, or gain the approval of others, then they can finally see themselves as powerful. But strength does not come from outside events. It comes from within. If you wait for the world to prove to you that you are strong, you will always feel uncertain, always searching for confirmation. But if you assume strength now, if you carry yourself as someone who is already resilient, the world will align with that assumption. Life tests everyone, and those who assume weakness crumble under pressure, while those who assume strength rise to the occasion. It is not that the strong avoid hardship. They simply approach it differently. When difficulties arise, the weak say, "Why is this happening to me?" The strong say, "This is happening for me, and I will emerge even stronger." The difference is in mindset, in the belief that no matter what happens, they will not be broken. And because they assume this unshakable resilience, they prove themselves right. People will treat you according to the way you carry yourself. If you shrink, hesitate, or question your own worth, the world will sense it and respond accordingly. But if you walk with the quiet certainty of someone who knows their value, people will feel that too. Strength is not about being the loudest person in the room or proving yourself to others. It is about moving through life with the inner knowing that you are enough, that you are capable, and that you do not need anyone's permission to stand tall. There is a power in assuming strength, even when you do not feel it. Many believe they must wait until they truly feel strong before they act with confidence, but that is a misunderstanding. Strength is not something you feel first. It is something you decide to embody, and the feelings will follow. When you choose to act with certainty, when you refuse to be shaken, you are training yourself to become what you assume. The world does not respond to hesitation, it responds to conviction. This is why some people seem to move through life with ease, while others constantly struggle. It is not luck or circumstances that separate them. It is self-concept. The person who assumes themselves to be powerful will naturally navigate life with confidence, while the person who assumes themselves to be weak will approach everything with fear. Your perception shapes your reality, and the more you assume strength, the more evidence the world will provide to support that assumption. Even in the face of adversity, the strongest people refuse to waver. They do not see obstacles as signs to stop, but as challenges to overcome. When others doubt them, they remain unmoved. When circumstances appear unfavorable, they trust in their ability to turn things around. They do not let temporary setbacks define them because they have already assumed their victory. This is not arrogance. It is an unshakable faith in oneself, a belief that no matter what happens, they will find a way. It is not about pretending or faking confidence, it is about making a decision. The moment you choose to see yourself as strong, you will begin to act differently. Your posture changes, your tone of voice shifts, and the way you approach problems transforms. You no longer tolerate disrespect, you no longer allow fear to control you, and you no longer question whether or not you are capable. You simply move as if you already are, and the world follows. If you assume strength, you will attract challenges that match that strength. Life does not give great battles to those who cannot handle them. When you step into your power, you will be tested, but not to break you, only to prove to you what you are truly capable of. Those who run from challenges never realize their own strength, but those who face them head-on come out on the other side transformed. There is no need to wait for anyone else to validate your power. The moment you decide that you are unshakable, the moment you assume that nothing can defeat you, you have already won. Strength is not something you find, it is something you claim. And when you do, the world will respond in kind. Many people struggle with the idea of being firm because they associate it with being unkind, harsh, or even cold. They believe that to be a good person, they must always be agreeable, always say yes, and never enforce boundaries. But the truth is, firmness and kindness are not opposites. In fact, true kindness often requires firmness. Without it, kindness can be taken advantage of, misused, and ultimately become a source of weakness rather than strength. Being firm simply means standing by your values, enforcing your boundaries, and making decisions that align with what is best for you and those around you. It does not mean being cruel or dismissive. When you are firm, you communicate clearly. You do not waver when it comes to what is right, and you do not allow emotions, guilt, or pressure to steer you away from what you know to be true. This kind of firmness is not a rejection of kindness. It is a reinforcement of it. Too often, people mistake kindness for being endlessly accommodating, always putting others before themselves and never saying no. But that is not kindness, it is self-sacrifice. And when you constantly give in to others, when you refuse to be firm, you are not doing them a favor, you are teaching them that they can disregard your needs, that your time and energy are not valuable, and that you will always bend to their will. This does not create respect, it creates imbalance. Being firm teaches others how to treat you. When you set clear boundaries and enforce them, people learn that your kindness is not to be mistaken for weakness. They understand that while you may be compassionate, you are not someone who will tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or inconsideration. This is how you gain respect, not just from others, but from yourself. Every time you stand firm, you reinforce your own self-worth. You affirm to yourself that your needs, your time, and your feelings matter. Some believe that saying no is mean, that denying someone's request is selfish, or that refusing to tolerate mistreatment is rude. But what is truly unkind is allowing resentment to build because you were too afraid to be firm. What is unkind is pretending to agree when you do not, pretending to be okay when you are not, and stretching yourself too thin because you feel obligated to please everyone. True kindness is honest. It does not come from guilt or fear, but from a place of integrity. There are people who will not like it when you are firm. They may call you selfish, mean, or difficult. But their reaction is not a reflection of your character. It is a reflection of how they benefit from your lack of boundaries. When someone is used to getting their way, they will resist when you begin to stand your ground. But that is not your problem to solve. Your responsibility is to yourself, to ensure that you are not living your life at the mercy of others' expectations. Being firm also means making decisions that may not be popular but are necessary. Leadership requires firmness. Parenting requires firmness. Even love requires firmness. If you truly care about someone, you do not enable their bad behavior. You do not say yes to things that will harm them in the long run. You do not allow them to cross boundaries that will ultimately damage your relationship. Real kindness sometimes looks like telling people things they do not want to hear. It looks like walking away when necessary. It looks like refusing to be mistreated, even if it makes others uncomfortable. There is no pride in being a pushover. There is no honor in letting people use you because you are afraid of confrontation. Kindness should never require you to betray yourself. When you choose to be firm, you are not choosing to be unkind. You are choosing to respect yourself. And when you respect yourself, you teach others to do the same. Some of the strongest, most loving people in the world are also the firmest. They do not allow themselves to be walked over. They do not tolerate disrespect. They do not allow guilt or obligation to control their choices. Yet they are still kind, still compassionate, still generous. The difference is they do not confuse kindness with self-betrayal. They do not confuse kindness with self-betrayal. Being firm is not about shutting people out or refusing to help others. It is about ensuring that your kindness is given in a way that is sustainable, genuine, and respected. It is about making sure that when you give, it is because you want to, not because you feel forced. It is about protecting yourself from those who would take advantage of a good heart. The world does not need more people who are afraid to be firm. It needs more people who understand that true kindness has strength behind it. When you learn to be firm, you do not lose your kindness, you protect it. You make sure that it is given to those who appreciate it rather than those who expect it without gratitude. You ensure that your kindness is not a burden, but a gift. And that is the difference between being used and being valued. Your past does not have to define you. What has happened, what was said, what was done, these things hold no real power except for the meaning you continue to give them. Most people believe that once something occurs, it is set in stone, that it cannot be changed. But reality is far more flexible than that. The mind is the true creator of experience, and by using the power of revision, you can reshape your past, heal old wounds, and transform the way life unfolds for you. Every memory you hold is not just a passive recollection of an event. It is an active force shaping your present and future. If you continually replay a painful moment, reinforcing the feelings of regret, anger, or sadness associated with it, then you are keeping that moment alive in your current reality. You are giving it energy, keeping its influence strong. But if you revise it, if you go back in your mind and recreate the event the way you wish it had happened, you can dissolve its power. You can shift its effect on your subconscious. And in doing so, you change what you experience moving forward. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. If you close your eyes and vividly replay a scene with a new outcome, your subconscious will accept it as truth. It does not argue with what you impress upon it. It simply receives and manifests according to what it believes to be real. This is why revision is so powerful. You are not ignoring what happened. You are giving your mind a new framework, one that serves you rather than hinders you. There are moments in life that leave deep imprints, times when you were hurt, rejected, or made to feel small. If you carry these memories with you unchanged, they continue to shape your identity, your confidence, and your actions. But if you revise them, if you go back and see yourself responding with strength, if you replace rejection with acceptance, if you turn failure into success, then you begin to change at a core level. You are no longer defined by those past moments because, to your mind, they no longer exist in the same way. Some people think that revising the past is delusional, that what happened is what happened. But nothing exists independently of the meaning you give it. Two people can go through the same event and walk away with completely different interpretations. One may see it as a tragedy, while the other sees it as a lesson, an opportunity, or even a blessing in disguise. The event itself is neutral. It is the story you tell about it that shapes its impact. And because you are the author of that story, you always have the ability to rewrite it. This practice is not just about emotional healing. It is about changing reality itself. When you revise an event in your mind, you are shifting the vibration you hold around it. And because the outer world is a reflection of your inner state, you will begin to see changes in your current reality. Relationships can improve. Past conflicts can dissolve. And circumstances that once seemed fixed can suddenly shift. The power of revision extends beyond memory. It alters the trajectory of your life. To use revision, take a moment from your past that still affects you. Close your eyes and replay it, but this time see it unfolding the way you wish it had. Change the words that were spoken, the actions that were taken, and most importantly, how you felt in that moment. Imagine yourself responding with confidence, grace, and wisdom. Do this until the new version feels as real as the original. Then let it go, trusting that the shift has taken place. You do not have to stay bound to mistakes, regrets, or painful experiences. The power of revision allows you to free yourself from them. What matters is not what happened, but what you choose to accept as your truth. You are always in control of your narrative, and through the simple act of revision, you can create a past that empowers you rather than limits you. Your mind is your greatest tool, and reality will always follow the direction it is given. If you hold on to pain, pain will continue to show up. If you revise it into strength, that strength will define you. The choice is yours, and with it, the ability to rewrite your story at any time. Everything you experience in life begins within you. Your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions shape the world around you, whether you are aware of it or not. Many people live as though they are at the mercy of circumstances, reacting to whatever comes their way, believing that life is happening to them. But the truth is, life is happening through you. You are not a passive observer. You are the creator of your own reality. Every thought you consistently entertain is like a seed planted in the soil of your subconscious mind. Over time, these seeds take root and grow into the experiences you see in your external world. If you constantly think in terms of lack, struggle, or limitation, then that is what you will encounter. But if you deliberately choose to think in terms of abundance, success, and joy, your reality will begin to reflect those truths. You are always creating, whether consciously or unconsciously, and the results you see in your life are a direct reflection of your inner state. Many people believe that their circumstances determine their thoughts and feelings, but it is actually the other way around. Your dominant state of mind is what shapes the experiences you attract. If you believe that success is difficult, that people cannot be trusted, or that love is hard to find, then your reality will confirm those beliefs. You will unconsciously seek out and create situations that reinforce what you assume to be true. But when you shift your assumptions, your reality shifts with them. To take control of your life, you must first take control of your mind. Every day, you are given the opportunity to decide how you will think, what you will accept as true, and what kind of energy you will put out into the world. This does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending problems do not exist. It means recognizing that your response to them determines their power over you. If you meet challenges with fear and doubt, they will seem insurmountable. But if you face them with confidence and the assumption that everything is working in your favor, you will find solutions where before there were only obstacles. Your imagination is the most powerful tool you possess. What you vividly imagine and accept as real in your mind will eventually materialize in your external world. This is why it is crucial to guard your thoughts and intentionally shape them. Instead of dwelling on worries, visualize the outcome you desire. Instead of replaying past mistakes, imagine yourself succeeding. Instead of fearing failure, see yourself as already victorious. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply takes whatever you impress upon it and works to bring it into existence. Many people wait for external proof before they allow themselves to believe in a new reality. They wait to see success before they feel successful, wait for love before they feel loved, and wait for happiness before they allow themselves to be happy. But this approach is backward. The external world is a mirror reflecting your inner world. If you want to see a change in your circumstances, you must first change within. Assume the feeling of what you desire as if it is already yours, and reality will rearrange itself to match that assumption. Doubt and fear are the biggest obstacles to creating the life you want. They creep in and make you question whether you are truly capable of shaping your own destiny. But doubt is just another belief, a choice. You can just as easily choose to believe in yourself as you can choose to doubt. The difference is, one belief will empower you while the other will limit you. When you choose to believe in your ability to create, you step into your power. You do not need to know exactly how everything will unfold. Your job is not to control every detail, but to set the direction with your thoughts and beliefs. Trust that life will align with the vision you hold, and be willing to let go of limiting beliefs that keep you stuck. The more you affirm and feel your desired reality as already true, the faster it will manifest. Your life is your own creation. No one else has the power to dictate your reality unless you allow them to. The moment you take responsibility for your thoughts, you take responsibility for your future. You are not here to simply survive and go through the motions. You are here to create, to shape, to manifest the life you truly desire. The power has always been yours. It is time to use it.